Hello, Roger Gallegos here, founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. Hope you're having a great day. Today's going to be our last video in our Looking Ahead to 2019 series. Again, this series was important for us because we wanted to best help you prepare for the upcoming year, because you want to have, as you go into the year, as you go into anything, you want to be prepared. You want to know what's upcoming, and you want to be able to plan and prepare yourself in so you could attempt to make use of all the tools available. And unless you know what those tools are, and unless you know what these things are, you're not going to be able to prepare yourself. So we wanted to help you guys understand the best way to do that. Today, we're going to focus on analytics. Now, analytics are important because they give you an idea of how the effectiveness of your marketing strategy. And it actually gives you more than an idea. Done right, you will actually know for certain what is working and what isn't working. And you really need to have a grasp on that, because if something's not working, you don't want to keep doing it, because then you're utilizing time and money and energy. And if you're a small business, you don't have a lot of those things. You have to make the most of the time and money and any resources you have. And the best way to do that is to analyze what's working, is to go through, collect the data, store it somewhere, and then create a plan to continuously review, or rather periodically review, and then also go further and say, this is what's acceptable for our baseline and our goals, and this is what we're going to do when we don't meet one of those goals. And if you do those things, then eventually you'll get into a system where you're just making changes, you're reviewing, you're making changes, and you just become a well-oiled machine with your marketing. That doesn't mean things won't come up and hiccups won't arise, but then you won't be feeling like you're wasting money or spinning your wheels. So today we're going to talk about some important KPIs, or key performance indicators, and what they mean and what you should be tracking. So, and there's a lot more to these. I just picked the 6 that I feel are a good baseline to start with. I mean, you could go, depending on who you talk to and what blogs you see. I mean, some will say 10. I even saw one with like 20, and it could really get into your head. These are just some things that you really should be drilling down and understanding what they mean and how they apply to your business. The first one is pretty obvious, and this should be something you should be tracking anyways as a business, but it's revenue. You should be tracking your revenue and different impacts on. So for instance, if you purchase an ad and you see a good uptick in your revenue, chances are the ad was effective. Now, if you're running multiple ads during that time period, you may want to go back and say which one produced the most effect, and then try to understand why was it. Was it a seasonal ad? Were you targeting a specific segment of your audience? What was it about that ad that really worked? And you want to keep that in mind so you can apply that to the future. The next is cost per lead. So what I mean by that, or what this means, is going back to the example of that ad. If you spent $50 for that ad and you got 5 leads, you could say that cost $10 per lead. You want to do that over a period of time so you understand how much is it costing you to get these leads, and then that way you're able to really build out your marketing budget. It really helps you formulate what you're spending on, and it also shows you what marketing channels. So for instance, if you run Facebook ads and they're giving you $10 per lead, but maybe on Google it's only $8, so maybe you should focus more on Google. Conversely, if you're spending $10 on Facebook ads, but those leads are yielding clients that are twice as valuable as Google, maybe you stick with Facebook. So it's one of those things where you have to balance that and see what really fits into your goals and what you're trying to accomplish as an organization. So that's what cost per lead does for you. Customer value. Now, what this is, another place, another way to say is lifetime value of a customer. This is what one customer means to you. So it says, it's the idea of what I just referenced with the Facebook ad, that second part, where we brought in a customer and they spent $500 or $1,000. What does one customer bring to you for that service? And how many times are they going to come back? How often are they going to be multiple customers, and in what time frame? So if they come back 3 times a year and they spend $500 each time, you can sit there and say, this person cost us $1,500 in that year. And if it only cost us $10 to acquire them, then we made $1,490 off that person. And think of it that way. And again, this is another way so you can really hone in your budget and understand where your marketing efforts are going towards. These next couple things, these are really kind of how you, these next three things, these are how you analyze specific marketing channels. And the first one is landing page conversion rates. Now, the reason I included this, and not all people do landing pages, or at least the landing pages in the way I use them, but landing pages are pages where you send people to, some refer to them as squeeze pages or whatever, or lead pages. You send people to, and they have a very specific action, whether it's to collect someone's email address, get them to purchase something, get them to sign up for a webinar or some sort of program or event. Whatever it is, you're trying to get that person to do a very specific action, and it's very directed. The reason you want to understand how these convert is you want to know what's effective. So let's say you have a really good ad where it has a good conversion rate or click-through rate of 25%, but people get to the ad and you only convert 10% of the people coming through. You may want to sit there and say, why am I only converting 10% of the people? Is it something, am I not putting the call to actions clear? Is the lead magnet not okay? Is there something wrong? This really helps when you visualize that funnel. Where are people falling off? So that's where the lead landing page conversion rates really helps you understand how people are responding to your messaging. So keep that in mind. The next thing is organic traffic. This is very important because if it's organic, then that means you're not paying anything for it. And it could also mean you're getting referrals. So try to track to see where people are coming from. Are they doing Google searches, Facebook searches, maybe word of mouth, or maybe it was a link from your email marketing? That could be, someone. So if they're coming through you organically and not via an ad, you want to understand that, because if they're doing that, maybe you focus more on those topics and you don't have to spend any money. So going back to that example of the person who was worth $14.90 because you had to spend $10, if you didn't have to spend $10, that person is worth $1,500. Now that $10 is just $10, but let's say you did that 100 times, then you just saved yourself $1,000 for the year on just because you were able to convert to more organic traffic and focus on that. So keep that also in mind. The last one is social media traffic and conversion rates. This is very similar to the organic traffic. You want to know how many people are going to your social media profiles and what's converting. Now, this goes back to what I talked about in previous videos and knowing your audience and where they get their information from. If you are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and you're devoting 25% of your time to each, but most of your traffic is coming from Instagram, then maybe you should consider putting most of your efforts into Instagram, because that's where people are visiting more often and they're converting more often, and it'll behoove you to increase your audience. And it goes back to that idea of cost per lead and customer value, because if more valuable people are coming through there and you have a lower cost per lead, that is where you're going to want to put your energy and your time and your focus on. So understand which social media channels are working best for you. That doesn't mean you just focus on one, because I'm a big proponent and not being beholden to one platform, to keep your options as open as possible. But that doesn't mean you can't have a favorite. You can't have one that you really hone in and focus on, because if it's performing well, you should really drill down as much as you can. So that is it when it comes to analytics. Let me know which one's your favorite one. If it's one of these ones, is it one that I left off? Again, there's a lot more. I just wanted to kind of give a little taste and get your guys' thought process going on this. So if there's one that I left out, or if there's one that I talked about that you really liked, let me know. I want to hear from it. Next year, it will be next year, so it'll be next month. In January, we're going to be talking starting the new year off on the right foot. All the content and all the videos are going to be about getting your strategy set and moving forward, and just making 2019 your best year yet. As always, like this video, follow Beacon on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you're not on our email newsletter, let me know. I'll get you on there. Again, let me know what you guys think of this video, and if there's any analytics that you like. Go back, view all the other content for this month. Let me know if there's something that I missed, if there was a trend or an idea that I just left off, or maybe I didn't get it exactly right. I want feedback. I want to hear from you guys, so please let me know. That's it for me. Hope you guys have a wonderful new year. Talk to you later. Bye.